Saturn Automobile repairs. If you're looking for help fixing your Saturn Automobile, look no further. Our comprehensive Saturn Automobile repair guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and maybe show you how to repair your vehicle. The car keeps overheating. Surprisingly, overheating doesn't happen that often, especially in modern cars with their complex systems, sensors, and so on acting to keep the vehicle's temperature just right. Making sure the radiator is looked after and the water pump is working is the easiest and cheapest way to prevent problems with overheating. Whatever car you own will require regular maintenance, and even then you will still get things that go wrong from time to time. Some car models are more prone to certain issues than others, and driving style can also have some impact on efficiency. No matter what your vehicle, we hope that you have found this list helpful. Staying vigilant for signs of trouble and dealing with them when they occur saves time and money and keeps you on the road. The transmission fluid is leaking. Any transmission system needs fluid to make sure all of the working components are kept well lubricated. In automatic cars, the fluid used in transmission is also used in the hydraulic and coolant systems. Small holes can form throughout the system which allows tiny amounts of fluid to leak. Over time, or if the leaks are severe, you will find that transmission is less efficient. Plus, you may find that the system overheats or loses pressure. In both cases, the transmission will fail. If you see a red puddle collecting under your car, it can be a sign that the transmission pan is cracked. The car is consuming too much oil. Fresh oil is essential for a car to function, but if you are constantly topping up your oil level, you may have a problem with the car. If you start to notice a drop-off in performance or the oil light comes on, you will definitely need to check the oil. If you don't get the oil changed regularly, you might find that the engine becomes corroded. Poor quality oil or lack of regular changes can also cause blockages in the oil filter. It is best to change the oil filter at the same time as you change the oil, although some modern cars do have a filter bypass system in place. Dead battery. Most car batteries should last about 3 years or 50,000 miles. A dead battery is usually caused by reduced amps, or electrical currents, which naturally decrease as the battery loses its ability to maintain a charge. A damaged alternator, battery temperature sensor, or other charging system components can expedite this issue. It's best to replace your car battery every 50,000 miles or 3 years, even if it's not showing signs of damage. Broken starter motor. The starter motor is responsible for cranking your engine over, which begins the starting process. When this component fails, it's usually because the electrical solenoid has been damaged. The starter motor breaks or another electrical fault occurs, like a starter relay. For example, while a starter can be replaced before it breaks, it's difficult to predict when this will happen. It's best to have a car starting inspection to determine the problem before assuming it's the starter. The radiator is leaking. Radiator leaks are almost always caused by corrosion. Corrosion itself can have a lot of causes, but once you get one leak, you are likely to get more, so it makes sense to replace the whole radiator. If you don't keep the radiator in good condition, you can get problems with overheating and, ultimately, could end up with an engine fire. Alternator failure. The alternator is the part of your vehicle that keeps all electrical systems running once the car starts. It's also responsible for supplying a charge to your battery to keep it in peak condition. When an alternator breaks, it will eventually cause the battery to wear out prematurely and other starting issues. Check your recommended service intervals and replace the alternator before it breaks to avoid this hassle. Steering wheel shaking. Multiple issues can cause the steering wheel to shake while driving. If it happens right after starting your car and beginning to drive, wheel bearings or damaged suspension components are often the sources. If it happens at higher speeds, it's typically a tire wheel balance issue. Regardless, having a professional mechanic inspect the vehicle at your location is the best way to correctly diagnose and resolve this issue. SourceYourMechanic.com